Why does it feel like I'm like on like a casting couch in like a porno or something? Alright, welcome guys, there's a new vlog from homergogo. Today is January 21st, 2016. It's been about maybe 2.5 weeks since I made the last vlog. And so this is gonna be a really weird vlog. There's no intro, as you've realized. This is gonna be a dream that I had a few nights ago. I wrote it all down in this notebook. This is my crazy dream 2K16. Let's just get straight into it. I'm just gonna read out the shit that I just wrote. It's like a whole, like 4 pages long, so let's get straight into it. I don't really know how this dream really started. Obviously, you never know when a dream starts. You just kind of end up there. So I don't know how it started, but I joined the 21 Jump Street, Back to the Future gang. And then so I went back in time to my former high school to like stop some sort of like synthetic drug, which looked like some sort of sponge figure, I don't know. But I went back in time to my former high school as the age I am now. And I was wearing my black pink dolphin sweatshirt and black skinny jeans. And I was just walking around the high school. But the thing is, this looked nothing like my former high school, but they said it was. And I was enrolled into 3 classes. But for some reason, some of the classes were in college lecture classes and some of them were like in high school classrooms settings. And then in one of the lecture halls, I saw my ex-girlfriend, but technically we weren't together because this is in the past. I just like looked at my ex and she looked at me and we smiled and she smiled and we were just really smiling for a minute, and she just kind of left the classroom after class ended. I also ran into a friend in the big college lecture classroom, but it was weird because this friend, I actually made friends with him freshman year of college here, so I don't know how he's in my former high school. It just doesn't make sense, doesn't add up. After class, he came to talk to me, and we chatted, and then we bonded, and he was just like, hey, we should hang out sometime. And then I was like, oh, that's cool, yeah, let's hang out. And then, like, as soon as we left the lecture hall classroom thing, like, it turned into like an amusement park, a high school with an amusement park. So after I landed, I ended up in this amusement park. I ended up getting some tickets, like, you know, when you play like games at the amusement parks. I got tickets, and then I went to one of those strength meter things where you hit it with a hammer. I don't know what it's called, but went to one of those. I hit it with the hammer, and then people started laughing at me because my hit scored super low. And then I left the amusement park afterwards. I got in a car, and I don't drive, so I don't know how I got in the car. I got in a car and I drove, and then I accidentally crashed the car by like a river. And I got out of the car, I was like at the bottom of a hill, and I was like trying to like go up this muddy hill. And I get up to the top, and there's a bunch of tourists looking at me and looking down the hill. After I get up this hill, I go back to the amusement park, and like I get a piece of chocolate, I guess from like the tickets that I got from all the prizes or like the games I played. I get some chocolate and I open the wrapper and I bite into it and I eat some of it, but then the rest of it I throw down into the river. And the next day at the high school, there was a huge mini tornado while I was in class. My notebook flew away because of the tornado, and like it flew like somewhere across the map, I don't know where. And then like there was rubble everywhere because of the tornado. I had to like walk around all this rubble everywhere. I had to walk around like it was like an obstacle, and I had to get to where the notebook went. And then on my way there were like these bullies, right? And I dropped my wallet for some reason on the floor. And the bullies were looking at me. So they came up to me and they put their fists up asking me to give them my wallet. And I was like, no, what the fuck? Why would I give you my wallet? And so I was like getting kind of scared. And then a bunch of kids from, I guess, the classroom or like from the school like showed up and they were like, what are you guys doing? And then the bullies just acted like nothing happened, and they were like, oh, nothing, we're just chilling. And then I was like, what the fuck? No, like they were trying to beat me up. So like one of the girls in that little group of kids were like, no, those bullies those guys would never do anything. And then so all those kids turn around, and as soon as they turn around, the fucking bullies start beating me up. And then as soon as I like lay one punch on them, all those kids turn around again. Then they're like, they see me punch the bullies, but they don't see the bullies punch me. And then they're like, all right, those guys should beat you up. And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't do anything. I gave one punch. So they start trying to beat me up, and then I realized right next to my wallet on the floor, there's like 2 pocket knives. So I pick up the 2 pocket knives, and I shank the shit out of these 2 bullies, and I keep running away, and I get to my notebook. We just get back to being in class. And then the next day, I went back to class. For some reason, the building I went into was like super tall. It was maybe like 20 stories or something. But I get to the top floor, and then basically, so here's the building, right? And one of the fucking, my classroom is slanted this way. Like it's like, open the door, and the fucking classroom's like slanted upwards. I can't even make my way up to sit in a chair. And basically all the students and teachers are standing like towards the lower end of the class, obviously because they can't get to the top because it's like slanted fucking. And then out of nowhere, like it was crazy. Like a plane just crashes into the building, and all the kids just start freaking out and start running everywhere. And the fucking like building just starts to fall over, just like slowly, like crashes. And then just like out of nowhere, like the camera angle changes, and it just shows top-down view of the inside of the plane, and it's closing up on this one guy sitting at the very back of the plane, and he looks like Where's Waldo, closing up on him. He's just like, it's like he's important to the story, but I've never seen him in this dream before, and it just stops. And the next thing you know, I'm in my dorm room for some reason, and like we're pre-gaming or something, like we're pre-gaming with some homies. There's this one dude who doesn't even drink beer, and he's just drinking beer. I don't know what's going on. And then Ari shows up, knocks on the door, and then my homies are like, what the fuck was that? And they're like freaking out, and they're knocking on the door. Ari's like knocking on the door, and my homies just like check the door, and then I just chugged like a ton of beer for some reason, and then I open the door. It's like some lady I never met before. And like behind her, I open the door, and like behind her, there's just like 10 people just like lined up. And this lady's like, hey, did you do the 21 Jump Street Back to the Future thing? And I was like, yeah, I was in that program. Did you eat the chocolate? And I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, well, did you litter the chocolate? Did you throw it on the floor? Because that's a hazard for the children. No, I threw it in the ocean. And she's like, all right, and it's all right. We're totally fine. And I said, all right, thanks. And like, I don't know why that came back up, the chocolate that I ate earlier. And that's the end of the dream. That concludes my crazy dream 2K16. I want to thank y'all for watching this weird ass video. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the next vlog. So have a good rest of your week, guys. Peace. Well, I can't even catch the shit.